Hi. So for this monthly favorites, which is February 2020, I decided to do something a little different. Normally what I do is I talk about, all my favorites, and they're all like witchy related, tarot, oracle, books, that kind of stuff. Consumables, witchy consumables, or like, incense, candles, and that kind of stuff, right? And then at the end of my video, I talk about personal care or beauty items that I enjoyed in that month. Well, when I gathered my things for to do today's video, which is my favorites for February 2020, things I've been enjoying, I realized that I had a lot to talk about in terms of beauty and personal care, mainly because I used up a lot of things this month. I revisited some things that I wasn't, that I was checking to see if maybe we could work things out. So I have a lot of stuff to talk about. So I decided to split it into two videos. So this is as you can tell from the title below, February favorites, monthly favorites, or February favorites, whatever I end up putting as a title. I can't remember. Beauty edition or personal care edition. I'm gonna Haba edition, like a health and beauty edition. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm rambling, and let's get started. So February is one of my favorite months of the year. February for me heralds starting with the start of the month. Those of you who follow the pagan wheel of the year, and celebrate Imbolc and all that. Well, in Italian folk magic, it's La Festa della Candelora. And it's also like, the return of the light, things blossoming, the beginning of that, right? St. Bridget's Day. I'm very devoted to St. Bridget and to the goddess Bridget. To me, I'm just devoted to Bridget. So much so, I named a daughter after her. So, here we go. Oh, and my other daughter was named after another goddess that I am very devoted to, the Morrigan. And I didn't name her Morrigan. I named her a name that heralds or calls to that goddess. So, okay, that's enough. Almost 3 minutes. I haven't started yet. Okay, so February always brings with it. It's the first inkling of spring, and where I live, there's a day in February where suddenly you can smell that spring is in the air. This year, not so much. We had a longer winter than we normally do, but I am still wired to start thinking spring in February. So after autumn and winter, wearing the heavier musky scents, they're usually heavier, spicier, musky scents. I turned to a fragrance I've had for a long time, and this is Amazing Grace. This has been reformulated to the point where I don't recognize it anymore. It's disgusting. I hate it. I'm sorry, but this used to be a beautiful, clean scent, a beautiful, clean musk. When Philosophy was its own entity, and before Cody bought it, anyway, I don't know what to tell you. This used to smell beautiful. It was just comforting, and it was a wonderful white floral musk. It was a light musk, not a white musk, because white musk for me it's very iffy. Now, and it used to, when you first sprayed it, the original formulation, when you first sprayed it, it smelled like Mr. Bubble. And if you grew up in the United States or even in Canada, I think it's available here. I'm not sure. I'm a little confused because I live both sides, right? It smelled like Mr. Bubble, and then it became this beautiful aura of It wasn't even, I won't say fresh because it wasn't fresh. It was just soft and pillowy. This is not. This is screechy as all get out. I wore it once this week, and you know this used to be a safe. If if you work in an environment where it's scent free, this for years was safe to wear in those environments. Not anymore. No. And it's not that my bottle's gone off. This is a fresher one. Like this is a fresh one. I tested it at Sephora yesterday to see what theirs smelled like, and it smelled just like this. And I have another one that is just like it. So I know this is supposed to be February favorites, but this was a February not favorite anymore. No longer favorite. So instead of February favorite, this is a no longer favorite. So bye-bye to this one. You like that, huh? February no longer favorite?
No longer favorites.
All right.
Bye-bye to this one.
Bye-bye to this one.
Need a red light.
Here is another one. Well, we might as well, since we're on the subject of no longer favorites. Here's another no longer favorite. So this is Revlon Super Lustrous Lipstick in Plum Baby. Okay? This was for the longest time a favorite shade. Well, I don't know what's going on, but I guess here, when you're my age and you've been, using Revlon for like 35 years, eventually something changes that, you're not going to be happy with. This used to be a really great shade. And in theory, it looks like it's going to be really great. It's a nice grayish kind of mauve kind of thing going on, right? But there's so much silver frost in it. And right now it just goes on like really not so nice. No longer favorite. It used to be a favorite. It's no longer a favorite. It doesn't stay on. And what does stay behind is just that silver frost. The mauve part of the lipstick just goes. So, no longer favorite. I think that's it for my no longer favorites. Now for the stuff that I loved in February. So it was cold, it was dry. I washed my hands 100 times a day. It was horrendous. The back of my hands were just chapped and like rough and red and really inflamed, and this stuff really helped. So this is Aveeno Calming Comfort Lotion. I got this in the Aveeno. This is Aveeno Baby. Here, let me see if I can. Yeah, this is Aveeno Baby. Again, everything I'm talking about today, I bought with my own money. I don't. That was my dog. Not. I guess. Yeah. Sorry about that. Everything I talk about today, I purchased with my own money. So this turned out to be pleasantly surprising. Very happy with it. It's very soft scent. It says lavender and chamomile. It smells of neither. It just smells of like nice baby lotion. And it healed up my hands overnight. So, wow. The next thing I really enjoyed. Oh, I do have it's not a no longer favorite. I guess this is going to be a February fail. But I'll talk about the stuff that I enjoyed. Another thing I enjoyed in February was I had left the house and oh my gosh, I had left the house without lip balm or any lip product in my bag. And I had come out of a dental appointment and it was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Like, when you think about it, it's like ridiculous as a problem, right? But anyway, first world problems. So I picked up this, and this is a very old brand. Now, I don't know if it's a Canadian brand because I don't hear about it much. And on it, it says it's manufactured by a company in Tonawanda, New York, and is distributed by a Canadian company. So it's probably available in the States as well. This surprised me. This was like $1, and it smells like hand cream, and works like a hot damn. So yeah, this pleasantly surprised me. So now I keep it in my bag in case I forget, my usual lip balm. Let's keep going. I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to share all this stuff, right? Want to talk about the February fail or no? How about February favorite? I really enjoyed using this. This is Twilight Shower Gel by Lush. It smells of lavender. It has shimmer in it, but if you don't want to have the shimmer on your body, you just let it settle to the bottom and just don't shake it before you use it. And this was limited edition. It comes back though. They usually have products with this scent. I just recently purchased the body mist. That's Twilight, and it's similar to this. Similar like when you first sniff it, but then it settles on the body like any other fragrance, right? It develops on your body chemistry and becomes unique to you. So I've been loving this. This has been a favorite for I don't know how many. Oh gosh, my God, I want to say 20 years. Yeah, since I started shopping at Lush maybe 20 something years ago. This has been a favorite. I don't know how many jars I've gone through. The fragrance is, well, it's very natural smelling, right? The fragrance is pretty much what the ingredients are. It's a really great body lotion for irritated skin. It contains oat milk and lavender and cocoa butter. It's like all this. It's very soothing. I find that it really, if your skin is irritated, whether it's razor burn or whatever, you can, it soothes it on contact, and and pretty much heals it overnight. Now you may be asking, Grace, why didn't you put this on your hands instead of this? Well, to be honest, it's because this is finished, and what's left at the bottom is smelling a little funky because I've had the jar for a long time. So this will be replaced, but I just wanted to mention it, that it's something that I use a lot. And in the place of using a cortisone cream or something like that on eczema, you might want to first try something like this, because cortisone creams, okay, we're going to talk about cortisone creams. So cortisone creams are like those over-the-counter creams that you find that have like 0.1% cortisone. Cordaid, clotrimazole, no, that's the end. Anyway, I'm not going to start talking about brands. You know a cortisone cream. They sell it for eczema. It's over the counter. It's usually next to the polysporin or the neosporin, depending where you live. Anyway, that may work at first to decrease the inflammation from eczema. But what it does over time is thin the skin, making it more susceptible to the eczema flaring up. Also, it does not soothe. The cortisone cream, I find it to be the absolute worst to put on a rash or where the skin's not broken, a rash or eczema, or even you're supposed to put it on eczema even if the skin is broken. It's supposed to bring down the inflammation. What it's supposed to do is stop the inflammation so that your skin can heal itself. And it stings like a son of a gun, and I can't stand that sensation. So I usually reach for something like this. But this was out. This is a little spendy, not gonna lie. This you can get for, I think it's like $7 Canadian at the supermarket. And this is, I'm pretty sure must be $30 Canadian. A bit much for this tub, right? So you see what I'm saying. But it will be replaced because the ingredients in here are just, if they haven't changed it, solid. The fragrance, like I said, leaves a little bit to be desired. You don't wear it for the fragrance. It smells natural. Well, this one smells terrible because it's like, expired, but okay, that's enough. Next. So those are two things that I really enjoy from Lush. Again, not sponsored, bought with my own money, or received as gifts from family members. I'll talk about something that, so I was really excited when I saw that LOreal came out with a cleansing milk. So, of course, because I love cleansing milk on my face, especially in the morning, just to wash off my moisturizer and whatever, to wash off my night cream and, get my face ready for the day. I love a cleansing milk over, I don't like face wash that's gel with suds and all that. So I really love the one by Darphin that I've featured in other monthly favorites. But Darphin costs an eyeball. Darphin is $55 Canadian for, I think it's a 250 ml, like an 8-ounce bottle. I'm not sure, probably even less. But that stuff is beyond compare. It is soothing, it has clean ingredients, it's all that stuff. But this was $10. I think this was $9.99 Canadian, and I wanted to give it a chance because, it's this is the L'Oreal Fine Flowers Cleansing Milk. Let's see if I can get it without glare. As you can see, I gave it a try. I gave it a couple of tries. The fragrance for it says Fleur Délicate in French, rose and jasmine. In English, fine flowers, right? I gotta say, the fragrance is really strong. It smells like really strong floral department store perfume. And it is strong. And I looked at the ingredients, and the ingredients, the ingredients you have jasmine flower extract and Rosa Gallica flower extract are like pretty high up in the ingredients list. This irritated my skin. It gave me eczema right here. Right here. Just below my eyebrow. And I typically don't have eczema on my face. Usually it's my hands or between my fingers. I was so disappointed. One, because the fragrance is like, oh, whoa. But I figured, okay, maybe I'll get used to it. No. It does not feel soothing on the skin. Like, you know what I mean? And it does, it caused my skin reacted to it. So, sadly, I will be passing this along to someone who can use it. Same thing with Amazing Grace. Like, if there's someone who loves it, well, they can have it. You know what I mean? Like, if it works for them. For me, it's like this, which is too bad, because who doesn't want a fragrance with their name on it? Seriously, right? Anyway. And then the last three things, two of them are of the same thing, but one of them is I did talk about makeup, that lipstick that was, this is a longtime favorite. So, after months of not wearing eyeshadow, I did my makeup. Oh, smudges from my. So, after months of not wearing eye makeup, February I started to wear a little bit of eye makeup here and there on the weekends, when we were going out and stuff like that. And I used it last night as well. Last night was our wedding anniversary. We were married on February 29th, 20 years ago. So I broke out one of my favorite palettes. This is probably this is probably my favorite eyeshadow palette. It's by, when I bought it, the brand was called I Heart Makeup, and it was a sub-brand of Makeup Revolution, which I think now is called Revolution Makeup. Anyway, this is Death by Chocolate. And it is one of the very few, and I say few because I keep looking for cool toned palettes that are interesting. And I don't know I don't think this camera is going to capture how great this palette is. But I think the shades kind of all look the same there, but they're not. It's my favorite shade, as you can see, is this one right here, and it's a gunmetal. It's a taupey gunmetal color, which looks like for a $10. It's like $10 Canadian. I paid it. now if you want to get them, they cost a little bit more. I guess became popular or something like that because now they think they go for double. I paid $10 Canadian for this. What a freaking steal, and what a great value this is. This is a beautiful product. The eyeshadows are pigmented, beautifully pigmented. I'm trying to, let me see here. Let's use this guy here. There. The shadows are beautifully pigmented. It stays on until you remove your makeup. I don't use an eyeshadow primer. I don't use any of that stuff. See, I would like if I did a get ready with me video, I would get a lot of hate because I don't do any of the stuff that everybody else does. I just I just put this eyeshadow on, and it stays on until I remove my makeup. It does not budge. And this, my favorite eyeshadow shade of, in the whole world, after blue, I love a good vintage, like 1960s, 1970s blue. But I don't always have the opportunity to wear, like, it's not something I would wear, like, all the time. This, though, this, like a taupey gunmetal, love it. It's my favorite eyeshadow shade, and this one's, it's just, like I said, the quality of these eyeshadows are incredible. They don't smell like chocolate. They really don't smell of anything at all. So, and these are supposed to be dupes of existing. This company makes pretty much knockoffs or dupes of existing palettes. So they have a whole series of palettes that they that are dupes of Too Faced palettes. This one is not a dupe of anything. This is their own original creation, and it is the only one that I own because it's cool toned. Like I said, I have a hell of a time finding a really good, balanced, cool-toned eyeshadow palette because on my complexion, I can't wear anything warm-toned at all, at all, at all. I have this pale olive complexion that is very difficult to find clothing, makeup. Lipstick is a nightmare. I find a lipstick shade that works, and I wear that for years because it is a nightmare to find a different one because you put 100 lipstick shades in front of me. There's probably one that comes close to suiting me and suiting my complexion that is a color I would wear, that I would that I enjoy, and I probably would have to mix it with a second one. So it's a nightmare. My parents were so different in coloring, and I got both colorings at the same time. But I digress. But this, my favorite, and I think I'm gonna buy another one just because I've had this one for a long time, and I think I want a fresh one. And again, it's affordable. I can do that. Okay. Home stretch. Now we're going to talk about some... Oh, no, before I talk about some old school beauty, I went thrifting this month. So, I wanted to mention something about thrifting. I was watching The Witch of Willow Creek. Is that Yvette's channel? I love Yvette. I binge watch Yvette when I have time, and I never get to posting a comment, Yvette, but I binge watch you. I love spending time with you. Anyway, she had done a video, I think it was last week or not too long ago, but I don't know because I binge watched, so I'm not quite sure when that video was from, where she had gone to she had gone to Goodwill and it was a bust. Well, let me just tell you that when I talk about something that I scored at the thrift store, it probably looks like every time I go, I score. And that's not reality at all. I probably have to pop in 20 times, and 19 out of 20 times, there's absolutely nothing there for me. Nothing. Nada. And then I'll have a day where I walk in and I score a few things. Or sometimes I'll walk in and I'll score one thing, and weeks will go by before I score something else. Last week, I scored a bottle of Yves Saint Laurent Opium Eau de Toilette. This is the original formula. Although the batch code claims it's from 2015, I don't think they were still making these bottles in 2015, but I could be wrong. This for an eau de toilette is extremely strong and long-lasting and very rich. And that's another reason why I think it's older than, because batch coats, I think they say they repeat every 5 years or 10 years. I think it's every 10 years. And this is strong. Like I've had, this is a fragrance that's come in and has gone out of my perfume collection more times than I can count. Mainly because I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with this fragrance. I like fragrance that's challenging, but this even one spray is too much. How can you do? I'm actually thinking of maybe transferring some into a bottle where I could dab, because even one spray is just too much. And this is eau de toilette, and eau de toilette is like the lowest concentration. This is a fragrance that was created in 1977. This is a 1970s iconic fragrance. Nowadays, those of you who are younger and you're shopping at Sephora and all that stuff, don't worry, you're not getting any hate from me. I shop at Sephora. I was there yesterday. Okay? Anyway, you're probably wearing black opium. It's not even they're not even in the same from the same universe. Yves Saint Laurent has not, how the mighty have fallen. Yves Saint Laurent is no longer the fragrance house it used to be. I think the last Yves Saint Laurent fragrance that I think was still of the caliber of a great fragrance house and fashion house was Paris from 1983. Everything that came after that to me was like, anyway, that's my personal opinion. This, I got it at a steal. One, this is a formulation. It's not readily available, at least not where I live. And honestly, I wouldn't pay full price for. I don't pay full price for perfume because I'm a collector, and I've been able to amass quite a collection on not paying full price for it. So you have that. This was just at the thrift store waiting for me. I'm trying to remember which one. I can't even tell you which one it was. I think it was Savers. For us it's Value Village still. I think it was at Value Village that this was just sitting there waiting for me that day. I walked in, I picked it up, and I brought it home. But I hadn't been to Value Village since the start of January and found something. I've popped in, but I haven't found anything. And that's what I'm wanting to illustrate, is that sometimes it looks like when people share their thrift store hauls that every time they go, they haul. No. My reality is that I can walk in, again, 20 times, 19 times out of 20 there's nothing, and maybe that one time there is. But when I score big. And this was big. I think it was $6.99, $5.99, something like that. All this to tell you about opium. Okay. Finally, something I've been enjoying in February, because I had to order it online because they don't sell this in Canada, and it's this. Now, those of you who live in the U.S. are probably saying, "Oh my gosh, really? That stuff?" Yeah, this stuff is incredible. When I go to America, I usually stock up because it's under $4 at Walmart. It's a cold cream. It's been around forever. And it's a true cold cream because the ingredients are mineral oil, water, beeswax. Those are the three first ingredients, and that is what cold cream is made of. If there isn't if beeswax is not in your cold cream, it is not a cold cream, my friends. This stuff, I just love it. It's old school. It's old school cool. The texture, it's a very thick cream. I use it as a cold cream. I use it to remove makeup when I'm not wearing eye makeup. Let me explain. makeup has to come off, makeup has 5 minutes to come off my face. If the makeup takes longer than 5 minutes to come off my face, I become a little aggressive and agitated because then I don't want to wear it again. And using a cold cream or an eye makeup remover or one of those biphasic oil and water kind of things where it's taking me 15 minutes just to remove my eye makeup is like, I can't. So honestly, if I'm wearing eye makeup, I use Noxzema. I close my eyes. That stuff breaks down eye makeup. You rinse your face, it's gone like crazy. But I use this on. I don't wear mascara every day. So, and I don't wear eye makeup every day. So this is what I wear. This is what I use every night to cleanse my face. And I love this stuff. And I had to get it online. I told you, and I was happy to have it back because we hadn't been to America yet. We haven't gone to America this month at all. So, and I ran out. And of course, it cost me more to get it online and have it shipped to me. And it was a little bit of I had to do an Evil Bay transaction to get this stuff. I ordered 3 jars, yada, yada, yada. But I didn't have to drive down to America, gas and all this stuff, right? So it comes to about the same cost. Anyway, love this. If you've never tried it, look it up on YouTube. There's tons of videos about it. I used to use Pond's cold cream when I was younger, like when I was a teenager, because I grew up, I'm from Connecticut, and I would go back to Connecticut every summer when school was out in Montreal. And near where I lived was the Pond's manufacturer. So I think my family used to get the giant jars of Pond's, which I'd never seen in Canada ever, anywhere, for like 50 cents at the manufacturer, like at the manufacturer's store, like their outlet store or something like that. Craziness, right? But Pond's has been reformulated. So if you're wanting me to talk about cold cream, let me tell you something. Pond's is now a cleansing cream. It is not a cold cream anymore. It does not have the first basic ingredients of mineral oil, water, and beeswax. And it's a different thing now. I have it. I use it. But it's not the same experience. This really breaks down the dirt on your face, but then leaves, it doesn't strip your face of its natural oils. Love it. Kind of leaves a protective layer. If you don't have dry skin, you might not like that. But it's really good if you have oily skin to use something like this, because then you're not stripping the oils off your face, compelling your complexion to have to produce more oil. All right. Anyway, so in February I started, I think I came across a video on YouTube that reminded me of a product that I used to love. And you know how you just forget about things, right? And it's the one, the only, the Merle Norman cleansing cream. Same kind of thing. First ingredients are mineral oil, water, and this one is paraffin and beeswax. So this is the more traditional cold cream. This one has paraffin before the beeswax. But this one too, talk about old school beauty. You know what I mean? Old school. Smells similar. They have similar scents. Not gonna lie. This one is from Merle Norman, and it's a 16-ounce jar versus a 15-ounce jar. This one retails for $30 Canadian. This one retails for under $4 US. This you can only buy at Merle Norman. This you could get at Walmart, or maybe in the States in some place you could get at the supermarket, at the drugstore, you know, what have you. Why am I talking about this? One, I'm so happy to have this back in my life. Makes me feel fancy. Look at this jar. Anyway, it reminds me of the women in my life, the women growing up that are no longer living, that maternal It taps into that whole maternal memories and stuff like that. I found out Friday because I never even noticed we had a Merle Norman in my city, which is odd because when I went in and when I did call to ask if they had this in the store, she said yes, and then when I went to pick it up, the owner of the store shared with me how most of the Merle Norman stores in Canada have closed, which is already sad. But it's not like I helped them to stay open because I didn't know they were there. But anyways, I digress. I was sad to learn that when she checked to see, to reorder it, that it is no longer in production. This appears to have been discontinued. That's sad. But we still have this. So that was my long-winded February favorites. Beauty, skincare, favorites, no longer favorites, not a favorite, like a fail, I guess. That's, this stuff didn't work for me at all. And I just figured, look, it's like 36 minutes and I'm still talking about this stuff. Could you imagine if I had tacked it onto the end of my regular February favorites, monthly favorites? It would have been like a 2-hour video. Also, you have the option to not watch it, which if you hear me saying this right now, then you've watched it, and thank you for joining me. But yeah, this way I figure what I'm going to do going forward is separate the two topics, because that way it gives viewers the option not to watch it, not to watch it, or not to have to skip ahead, or not to, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. All right, that's it for me. I'll be back to do my usual February favorites, or I'll be recording my usual February favorites after this video. And I'm wishing you all a beautiful day. Bye-bye.